somewhere in the Swiss Alps, in the middle of a snowstorm that would kill most men in minutes, a dog puts its nose to the frozen ground and finds a man buried alive under 12 feet of snow. Not a machine, not a drone, not a trained soldier, a dog. This happened thousands of times across centuries. And today, we're going to meet the 5 breeds that were not created to sit on a couch, not created to be cute. They were created deliberately, purposefully, across generations to save human lives. And their stories are ones that most people have never fully heard. Number 1, Saint Bernard. The dog that saved 2,000 lives in the Alps, the Great Saint Bernard Pass, sits over 8,000 feet above sea level in the Swiss Alps. For centuries, it was the primary route between Italy and Switzerland, and it killed travelers every single winter. Avalanches buried entire groups of people in seconds. Blizzards erased paths. Temperatures dropped to levels where exposed skin could freeze in minutes. In the early 1700s, the monks of the St. Bernard Hospice, a monastery that had existed at that altitude since the year 1049, decided to do something about it. They began selectively breeding a dog, one big enough to dig through compacted snow, heavy enough that the wind wouldn't knock it over, with a coat so dense it could lie on top of a dying man and transfer enough body heat to keep him alive long enough for help to arrive. The most famous of these dogs was named Barry. Between 1800 and 1814, Barry alone is documented to have saved 40 human lives. The most famous rescue, a small boy found frozen in an ice cave, whom Barry warmed with his body and then carried on his back to safety, as its breed. Saint Bernards are credited with saving over 2,000 people during their years of active service in the Alps. The last documented rescue was in 1897. A 12-year-old boy pulled alive from the snow. Today, Barry's preserved body stands in the Natural History Museum in Bern, Switzerland. He didn't need a monument. He already was one. Number 2, Newfoundland. The water rescue dog that coastguards still use today. Off the icy, brutal coast of the island of Newfoundland in eastern Canada, fishermen were dying. Nets fell into freezing water. Men fell in after them. The Atlantic in those waters is unforgiving, cold enough to kill in minutes, rough enough to defeat even strong swimmers. The people of Newfoundland didn't wait for a solution. They bred one. Over generations, they developed a dog with webbed feet for powerful swimming, a tail that functions like a rudder for steering through currents, and a double-layered coat so dense and oily that water rolls off it, like off a duck. Their chests are built like competitive swimmers, wide, deep, and powerful enough to pull a full-grown adult against an ocean current. Newfoundlands didn't just save fishermen. The coastguards of England, France, and Italy recognized what this dog could do and began using them on patrol vessels in the 1800s. Lord Byron famously called his Newfoundland Boatswain, the only being that ever fully possessed his friendship. Today, the Italian School of Canine Lifeguards, the SIX, actively certifies Newfoundlands for open water rescue. These dogs are trained to jump from helicopters and moving boats into the ocean, swim to drowning people, and tow them to shore. In Italy alone, Newfoundland teams have assisted in hundreds of real ocean rescues. This isn't history. This is happening right now. Number 3, Labrador Retriever. The nose behind every modern disaster, rescue when a building collapses, the first tool deployed is not a thermal camera. It is not a sonar device. It is not a drone. It is a Labrador retriever wearing a vest and a harness, walking into the rubble with its nose to the ground. Labs were originally developed in Newfoundland, same island as the last breed, to help fishermen retrieve nets and fish from freezing water. That original purpose required a very specific combination of traits, an almost obsessive drive to find and retrieve things, a calm and focused temperament under extreme physical conditions, and an olfactory system so powerful that it borders on supernatural. A Labrador's nose contains approximately 300 million scent receptors. A human nose contains about 6 million. Labs can detect the specific smell of a living human under debris, underwater, or through 12 inches of concrete, and track a scent trail that is 72 hours old after the September 11th attacks in New York. Labrador retrievers were among the first search and rescue dogs deployed at Ground Zero. They worked for hours in toxic air, in unstable rubble, finding survivors and victims in places no human or machine could reach. After the 2023 earthquake in Turkey, labs were deployed by international rescue teams within 24 hours and located survivors buried under collapsed buildings for days. Quick pause. If you're watching this, you're the kind of person who wants to truly understand dogs, not just own one. Subscribe to your dog. Every week, we bring you real stories and real science about the animals that share our lives. And hit like right now. It takes 1 second, and it puts this video in front of thousands of other dog lovers who've never heard these stories. 2 more breeds to go. And the last one? It went on one of the most classified military missions in modern history. Don't go anywhere. Number 4, German Shepherd. The breed that redefined what a dog could do in 1899. A German cavalry officer named Max von Stephanitz walked into a dog show in Western Germany and stopped in front of a single animal, medium-sized, wolf-like face, amber eyes that seemed to be processing everything around it with an intelligence that didn't quite look like other dogs. He bought the dog on the spot, named him Horrend von Grafrath, and spent the rest of his life building a breed around what he saw in those eyes. His exact words about his vision: a dog of great utility and intelligence, faithful, obedient, and a willing worker. He succeeded in a way that changed history. The German Shepherd became the first breed systematically trained as guide dogs for the blind, deployed after World War I to help soldiers who had lost their sight in the trenches. The first police dog programs in Europe were built around German Shepherds. The first dedicated search and rescue units used them. During the Second World War, German Shepherds served on both sides as messengers, medics' assistants, and search dogs in bombed cities. In 1923, a German Shepherd named Rin Tin Tin, found as a puppy on a W1 battlefield by an American soldier, became the first Hollywood dog star and appeared in 27 films, drawing attention to the breed worldwide. Today, the German Shepherd remains the backbone of police, military, and search and rescue operations on every continent. Not because they're easy to train, because they are almost impossible to outperform. Number 5, Belgian Malinois. The dog that went on the most classified mission in history on May 2nd, 2011. A team of United States Navy SEALs boarded 2 stealth helicopters and flew into Pakistani airspace without authorization. Their mission was classified at the highest possible level. Only a handful of people in the world knew it was happening. One of the team members was not human. A Belgian Malinois named Cairo wore body armor fitted with cameras and communications equipment. He was trained to detect explosives, clear rooms, and engage hostile targets. His name was kept classified for years after the mission. The Belgian Malinois looks like a leaner, faster version of the German Shepherd. But what's inside is something different, an intensity that most handlers describe as almost unsettling. These dogs don't want to work. They need to work. They become visibly stressed without a job to do. Special operations forces worldwide have shifted toward the Malinois because of a specific combination. They are lighter than German Shepherds, easier to carry in a harness during a helicopter insertion. They are faster. They can scale obstacles that would stop most dogs. They have been trained to rappel down buildings attached to a handler, skydive in tandem from military aircraft at altitude, and detect explosives with an accuracy rate that exceeds 98%. After the 2010 Haiti earthquake, Malinois from French rescue teams located survivors in collapsed buildings days after the disaster, when every other method had been abandoned. After the 2023 earthquake in Turkey and Syria, they were on the ground within hours. The Belgian Malinois was not bred to be a pet. It was not bred to be a companion. It was bred to go places humans can't go, find what humans can't find, and protect what humans can't protect. And it does all of it as if it were born knowing exactly why it exists. 5 breeds, 5 missions, 5 different answers to the same question that humans have been asking dogs for thousands of years. Will you help us? And every single time, in the snow, in the ocean, in the rubble, in the dark, the answer was yes. They didn't ask for recognition. They didn't need medals. They needed a purpose, and we gave them one. And they gave us something back that no machine ever will. Loyalty that doesn't have an off switch. Subscribe to your dog. Leave a like if this changed how you see the dog next to you right now. And share it, because these stories deserve to be heard. We'll see you in the next one.